Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Siti Hawa binti Muhammad Ahid and my matric number is H19A0794. Today, I would like to present about introduction. Statistics is representing procedures of collecting, organizing, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting data into useful information. The users need to follow the procedures of the statistics to get the right data, also can draw a conclusions and making decisions, requires reasonable mathematical and logical reasoning after using the right procedures. There are two types of statistics, which is descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Using this type, we will make an organization, summarization, and then can draw a conclusion about the population. Labor can be defined as a source of manpower, which, according to the Employment Act 1955, also defines a local worker as an employee who is a citizen. While the Employment Act generally only protects employees who are paid a salary below 1,500 ringgit per month. Using this formula, every researcher can get the percentage labor rate. After that, they can use the scales of measurement, which is the function to establish the scale of measurement of your data in order to determine the appropriate statistical method to use when analyzing the data. From the type of scales measurement, researchers can make right data about the labor force in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurifa Afikah binti Yunus. For my part, I'm going to explain about the data arrangements. In data arrangements, when the sample is given, we need to construct the frequency distributions by using the sample. By 5 steps to construct the frequency distributions. The first step is decide the number of classes, which is k. By using the formula, 2 power of k is greater than n. Since our n equal to 36, so our k equal to 6 because 2 power of 6 is 64, which is greater than 36. The second step is determine the class interval or width. By using the formula, class width equal to maximum entry minus minimum entry divided by k. And we got our class width equal to 16.3. The third step is to set the individual class limits. For the lower limit of the first class, we use the minimum entry of the sample, which is 55.2. For the lower limit of the next class, we plus the lower limit of the previous class, which is 55.2, with the class width, which is 16.3, and we got 71.5. And there will be the same thing for the remaining classes. For the upper limit, we minus the lower limit of the second class with 0.1, and we got 71.4 for the upper limit of the first class. And then it will be the same for the second class, third class, fourth class, and the sixth class. Sixth step is to make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class, like the table shown in the slide. The fifth step, the number of tally mark for a class is the frequency for that class. That is how we got our frequency distributions. We proceed to the relative frequency distributions and the cumulative frequency distributions. For the relative frequency distributions, we get the value for the relative frequency by dividing the frequency of each classes with the total number of frequency. And the total of the relative frequency will be equal to 1. Proceed with the cumulative frequency distributions. To get the value for the cumulative frequency, we need to plus the current frequency with the previous frequency. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sitina Shafika bint Abdullah. My number metric is H19A0827. For my part, I will explain about graphical method. Graphical method have three types of the quantitative variable data. The three types is a histogram, ogive, and frequency polygon. The first graph is a histogram. Histogram is a bar graph that represents the frequency distribution of a data set. The horizontal scale is quantitative and measure value is either class midpoint or upper class boundaries. The vertical scales measure the frequency of the class. Consecutive bars must test and bars must begin and end of the class boundaries instead of the class limit. Ogive is a line graph that displays a cumulative frequency of each class that is a upper class boundaries. Construct the of a frequency distribution of uh, that include cumulative frequency of each class that is upper class boundaries. Horizontal scales is upper class boundaries, while vertical scales is a cumulative frequency. This graph shows start at the lower boundary of the first class with a 0 and end of the upper class of the last class is 36. It's because the cumulative frequency is equal uh, with the is equal sample size. Sample size of this graph is 36. A polygon is a line graph that emphasizes continuous change in measure. The horizontal scale is of the midpoint of the data values, while vertical scale is the measure of the frequency of the class. This graph begin and end on the horizontal axis. Um, as, extend the left side of the class width before the first class midpoint and extend the right side to one class after the last class midpoint. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Siti Mariam Amri bint Abdullah. Today I would like to present about 3.0, which is measure of central tendency. So let's move to the next slide. In this slide, we provide the sample of data. The second one is we provide 3.1, which is mean. Mean is the sum of a data entries divided by the number of entries. Formula of mean that been provided in this slide is x equal to the Greek capital in bracket fx divided by n, where x is midpoint of a class, f frequencies of a class, and last one is n equal to the Greek capital F number of entries in sample. Okay, as you can see, this is the table of mean, which is the number of class, the number of x, the number of frequency, and the last one, the number of fx. That we should know is fx because the mean that we should find is fx. Okay, to find the mean price, you must divide the sum of the prices by the number of prices in the sample. So based on the sample that you provide in that slide before, you must conclude and find the fx. So the fx is 4039.2. So based on the formula, as you can see, and you can find the answer and the solution, which is x equal to the Greek capital in bracket fx divided by n. So 4039.2 divided by 36, the answer is 112.2. So the mean of the labor force in Malaysia is 112.2 in bracket 1000. This is the answer of the mean for the data. 3.2. 3.2 is about median. Median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered. Okay. In this slide, as you can see, this is the table of the median, which is we have number of class, number of x, number of frequency, and the last one is cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is very important because this helps us to get the solution of the data. This slide provides the formula of the median. Formula of the median is Lm plus bracket n divided by 2 minus the Greek capital Fm minus 1 divided by Fm close bracket times C. We should follow the step to get the solution of the median. Okay, step 1. Determine the location of the median class. N divided by 2 observation, 36 divided by 2 observation equal to 18th observation. So, the answer is median class is 104.1 until 120.3. This is the median of the class. Okay, step 2. Determine the lower class boundary Lm. In this lower class boundary, to determine it, we should minus the first number of median class, which is 104.1 minus to 0.5. So, the lower class boundary Lm is 103.6. Step 3. Determine class size or class width. C. 120.8 minus 103.6 equal to 17.2. Step 4. Determine the Greek capital Fm minus 1 and Fm. The Greek capital Fm minus 1, take the number at cumulative frequency of class number before the median class. So the number is 12. And Fm, take the number at frequency of median class. So the number is 6. Based on the formula Lm plus open bracket n divided by 2 minus the Greek capital Fm minus 1 divided by Fm close bracket times C. Okay, 103.6 open bracket 36 divided by 2 minus by 12 and divided by 6 close bracket times 17.2. The answer is 120.8. So, the median of the labor force in Malaysia is 120.8 in bracket 1000. 3.3 Mood. In this slide, we provided the table of the mood. To find the solution of mood, we should follow the step. Step 1. Determine the model class. Determine the location of the model class. It is based on the highest frequency. Model class is 104.1 until 120.3. Step 2. Determine the lower class boundary LM. LM equal to 103.6. Step 3. Determine class size or class width. C. 120.8 minus 103.6 equal to 17.2. Step 4. Determine triangle 1 and triangle 2. Triangle 1 is equal to 2 and triangle 2 equal to 2 also. Step 5. Calculate the mode based on the formula given. Mode LM plus open bracket triangle 1 divided by triangle 1 plus triangle 2 close bracket times C. 136.2 plus in bracket 2 divided by 2 plus 10 close bracket times 17.2 equal to 139.07. The highest labor force in Malaysia is 139.07 in bracket 1000.
My name is Siti Fitratul Aini binti Zulkifli. My metric number is H19800792. Okay, for measure of variation range, for range we need table have class and frequency only. Formula range is maximum data entry minus minimum data entry. So when we look at the table, we can know where which one maximum data and minimum data. So the way it should be 152.9 minus 55.2. Then the answer can get is 97.7. Next is variance. This is the table used to make this variance. Okay, to get S or midpoint, you only need plus number class and divide to 2. Forget number F8, frequency midpoint. You just multiply F and X. Forget X kuasa 2, you just power 2 only number X tersebut and then you get number X kuasa 2. Last, forget Fx kuasa 2, you must multiply F and X kuasa 2 to get new number. Okay, this is formula to do to solving this variance. N is the number of numbers in class. So you can get 1 per 6 minus 1 plus bracket 4x50x1.04 minus 1631513 6.64 per 6. So from here you can get 1 per 5 bracket 4x50x1.04 minus 2719,189.44 and the answer is 4468 to 1 and 6968. Next. Okay. Okay, next.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Siti Hawa binti Muhammad Ahid and my metric number is H19A0794. Today, I would like to present about a conclusion. In conclusion, we use some methods based on what we learned to find the right data about the labour force by age in Sarawak statistics in Malaysia. The methods that we use like data arrangement, graphical method, measures of central tendency and measure of position. At first step, we use the data arrangement, which is we need to find the frequency distribution and we get 36 as a frequency of labour force after the tally process. Next step, we use relative also cumulative frequency distribution, with this step easily to make a graphical data. There are three types of graphical data that we use in this assignment, which is firstly, we use histogram that the highest midpoint is 144.8 at 10 frequencies. Next, we use achieve graph. In this graph, we get the result ascending upwards. We start at the point at 58 at upper boundaries and 0 at cumulative frequency. The last method that we use is polygon graph, which is the point first and last must place at frequency 0. The plot points represent midpoints and frequency of each edge and connect the points in order from left to the right. In this central tendency, we need to use mean, median, and mode, which is the mode is the highest labor force in Sarawak is 139.07. In range, we get about 97.7 data, and in variance data that we get is 4,046,821.68, while in standard deviation we get 668.45 in data of age labor force in Sarawak. The last step is we need to calculate the quartiles and we get 68.95 is the last answer. That's all from me. Thank you.